Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Hey guys, welcome back to my house. When we come back, we are going to get this show started, okay? Hey guys, I am back. It is still hot and sweltering out here. I have to wipe my brow. But anyway, today's show is going to be about nostalgia again. This time it's going to be about all the foods and all the toys that we used to play with when we were kids. Well, my generation at least. On that note, let's take a look back in the days to all the things that we used to do as kids. Who remembers these orange cream push-up pops? I do. I remember the ice cream truck used to come. You can hear it a mile away. And this was one of the treats you would like to get off of the ice cream truck. Let's settle this once and for all. What do you call these? I called these freezer pops. Red and orange used to be my ultimate favorite. I don't know if anyone remembers these, but come on. Who doesn't remember a popsicle? I just remembered that they used to come with 2 sticks and used to break them in half, and you would always share them with your friends. Popsicles were such good memories. Parents ought to be ashamed sending their kids to the store. Remember this? With a note. Dear storekeeper, please can you serve my child with 20 Embassy Gold? Thank you. Mrs. Smith at number 21. I remember going to the store with a note myself for a pack of cigarettes. By the time I got skates like these, they were pretty much rusted and worn out. But I know there's some people out there who remember these skates, along with the skate key. I guess the skate key was probably to tighten them up. This treehouse takes me back to my childhood. We used to have the same treehouse called the Weeble Wobble treehouse. So remember the Weeble Wobbles, but they don't fall down? This was one of the toys I used to love to play with for hours. How many of you guys remember this toy, and how many of you guys had this toy when you were coming up? This family treehouse used to be my ultimate favorite toy. I remember you would press the button right there, and it would pop up that whole thing there. The one I had didn't have the little doghouse down here, but we did have everything else, the car there, and the people. We didn't have those little chairs and all that other stuff. Remember playing for hours with these doctor kits? You had your stethoscope there. That looks like a syringe for a needle to get a shot. There is your blood pressure taker right there. I guess you hit the knees with that, and you checked your eyes and ears with that there. And there's your pill bottle right there. I remember playing for so many hours on this doctor's kit. Remember the tape recorder? Whenever you wanted to record music off the radio, you had to put it up to the radio, and it had to be so quiet in the background because you could hear everything. And I know a lot of us have those old cassette tapes where we had music on them, and we can hear our family's noise in the background, and it was like, Lick-em-Aid Fun Dip with the Lick-a Stick and cherry flavor. This used to be the candy, and I always used to love eating on that little Lick-a-Stick. Remember sitting on the floor on one of these as a kid, spinning around and around until you got so dizzy till you fell on the ground? This was the toy to have back in the days, the sit and spin. Remember the spirograph? You would put the pins right there inside these things here, put them on a piece of paper, and you could make all those cool designs. Who remembers the yellow pages? And also we used to have the white pages. I remember Netflix used to come in the mail, and it used to take 3 days just to get a movie. Before there was voicemail, there was the answering machine. I remember having one of these, and it still looks cumbersome to use. Remember the pager was the thing to have? I remember if a dude didn't want to give you his phone number because they didn't have cell phones then, he would always give you his beeper number. Before there was Nintendo, before there was PlayStation, there was Atari. Now the only games I remember on here is Asteroids and Pac-Man, but this was the game to have. Look at those joysticks and that red button. Here's another game that stood the test of time, Light Bright. I used to love putting all the peg pieces into the board, and it used to be hours and hours of cool fun. Remember these clackers when you were a kid? Remember they banned them because they were dangerous? Especially when you got hit with them. Good Lord, did those hurt. When you wanted to search for books and do your research, you had to look in the library catalog. I remember doing this as a kid. This used to be tedious. Thank God for computers. I remember the old TV sets used to have that U, and that U stood for the UHF channels, Channel 2. When you put it on the UHF channels, that's when you would go down here to all these numbers. Oh yeah, I remember that little dial right there, but I forgot what that dial did. But this brings back so many memories of the old television set. Talk about your throwbacks. How many of you remember that McDonald's used to give these glasses? And how many of you still have the McDonald's glasses? I used to love playing this on the playground as a kid. They used to call it footsie, or they called it lemon twist, but when I was a kid, we used to call it skip it. How many of you guys used to skip it on the playground? How many of you remember the perfection game? You would set the timer, press this down, hit the latch, and you would have to put all the pieces in before it would pop up. And they also had a game called Superfection. This game used to be one of my favorite games when I was a kid, and I remember reading comments where people said this used to give them anxiety attacks, which I personally think people are going overboard. But I used to love playing for hours with this game. I had to stop it right there, guys. Isn't it great to go back and reminisce? How about the Skip It, the tape recorders, the popsicles? Oh my goodness. Remember, Sunday brunch is not just for Sundays. You can watch it Monday through Friday, or Sunday through Monday, or whatever you feel like watching a good video. Black Storm is always coming at you with love, peace, and soul. Bye, guys. But this time, I'm going to be talking about foods and also other fads. And I don't even know what to say. I forgot. Dang it.